Okay, boys and girls, tonight I'm going to read you one of my good friend's favorite books. It's called Where the Wild Things Are. The story and pictures are by Maurice Sendak. That means he not only wrote the words, he also drew the pictures. This is a very famous book. We know that because they put this little sticker medal on this. And that means this book has won a lot of awards because it's very, very famous. Okay? Where the Wild Things Are. You can see one of the first pages has a lot of pretty illustrations of some plants. Because you see all these plants, I'm wondering if you can think about maybe where these characters will be headed. Here's our title page, Where the Wild Things Are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind, and another. See him chasing his little dog. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. He's so mad, huh? What a naughty little boy. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. Look around his room at the illustrations. And grew. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed all through the night and day. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all of their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. He's very powerful, huh? To scare all those big monsters. And it made him king of all the wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." See him with his crown right there? And look at him. He's definitely being wild in that picture, huh? With all those crazy animals. What about in this picture? More craziness. And what about in that picture? Look at him, the king of the monsters, riding on their shoulder. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and he waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. His mommy put it on the table. And it was still hot. Why do you think his supper was still hot if he sailed across all those oceans for a year? Do you think that Max really did get on a boat and his room turned into a jungle and he sailed away to where the wild things are? Or do you think that he was using his imagination to pretend to go to this place? Okay, I want you to think about that. Do you think that this is a real story and Max could have really done this adventure? Or do you think it is a pretend story and that he was using his imagination? Okay, I want you to tell your mommy and daddy if you think this story could really happen or if this story is not true and just for entertainment, okay? Thanks again to everybody that visited us this week or visited me this week on our Google Hangouts. I'm so happy we got to see our friends and I got to see you. And until tomorrow morning, good night.